So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans, coming to you from wild and wonderful West Virginia. So this morning I had to go meet a contractor down at the cabin. It's kind of a rain day. I got a little bit of extra time, so I thought we'd go exploring. Currently, I'm in the town of Terra Alta. I guess you could call this probably located on the eastern part of the Allegheny Plateau. It's pretty high in elevation as far as the east goes. It's around 2,600 feet. Annual snowfall, 171 inches average. Population, a little over 1,400. But the town we're going to go check out is called Rowlesburg, and it's about 10 miles from the cabin. However, there's no good way to get there. Boy, they don't make them like they used to. A little bit of a tight squeeze here. So I believe this is the Rowelsburg Viaduct. Train tracks are up top there.
Arch Road.
I need to somehow turn right out of here with this school bus, but we'll get her. Little 4-point turnaround. So that's where I just came out of down there, and that's Salt Lick Road over there. This is what it looks like up top here. You know, coal in West Virginia was always huge, and I'm sure it has slowed down some, but I don't think people realize just how much coal is still produced in this state. I always see real long trains running through Terra Alta with loads of coal. I think they're headed east, or I know they're headed east, probably to the ports, and it's probably getting exported, I'm guessing. Anyway, we're going to get back in the truck, and I think we've got a couple more miles to go to the town of Rowlesburg. Just when I thought I saw it all. Little bass just swam across the road. Huh. All right, we're entering the town of Rowlesburg. So the Cheat River comes down this way, makes a big bend. Rowlesburg sits right here in the middle.
Turn right onto North Buffalo Street, then you will arrive at your destination.
Got a few antique shops. The Cannon Hill Inn. Got a boat rental place up here. There's definitely some history here. I looked this up. I heard about this before, but Rowlesburg was incorporated as a town in 1858. It was named for Thomas Rawls, a railroad engineer. But during the Civil War, there's two railroad bridges that cross the Cheat River, and they called that Lincoln's Lifeline. Well, in 1861, Confederate General Robert Garnett, he failed to reach Rowelsburg in 1861, but in 1863, William E. Jones raided the town. Well, he tried to reach the town. However, the Union troops and townsmen called out of their churches on Sunday morning, April 26, 1863, successfully defending the town and Lincoln's Lifeline. General William Jones retreated and was later court-martialed. All right, next up, we're going to head up to Cannon Hill Park. I think it's an overlook of the town. Not sure. Cannon Hill Park. I don't know what it is or where it is yet, but it sounds like a good place to put a cannon. I think where we're going is right up there, but it's about a 20-minute drive to get there. All right, we're turning left.
Continue on Cannon Hill Road for half a mile.
We just turn left on Cannon Hill Road. Ooh, I don't know about this. We'll have to see. Looks like it gets pretty sketch right off the bat here. We'll just keep going until we can't. I don't know. I don't think Google Maps knows where it's going. It was taking me to a place I didn't want to go. All right, bad news. I just talked to a landowner there, just back the road. Real nice guy. But this road does not open until May. Probably real rough in the wintertime. And it's probably at least a mile and a half to get there from here. Yeah, Cannon Hill Historical Site.
Continue for 1.5 miles.
Yeah, 1.5 more miles up that road. I'll come back down here sometime. Yeah, we're going to get up there sometime. We could do a side-by-side ride from the cabin down here. But Cannon Hill, it's located directly across from town. The hill was fortified during the Civil War and was used to protect the main line of the B&O Railroad. That would be a great place to put a cannon. Like I said, you can see right down on everything. So I was just reading this monument, pretty interesting, that General Jones, he led a cavalry of about 1,500 men from Red House, Maryland. I think that road was then called the Northwestern Turnpike, which is now U.S. Route 50. And they tried to take this bridge right over here. And the town and Union forces were able to defend that. And they all retreated. But they towed cannons up on top of Cannon Hill there with oxen. And when we come back down here, we'll get a better look. But man, they must have had an incredible vantage point from up on this hill here to my right. But yeah, it's an interesting area down here. I couldn't imagine. The Civil War was ugly enough, but man, fighting in these hills and mountains down here and rivers, and that had to have been rough. That had to have been. But they didn't get it. So we'll come back down here to Rowlesburg this spring, maybe May or early June. But right now I'm going to head up towards Kingwood, West Virginia, and start making my way back home. All right, we are on 72 North, headed up to Kingwood. That is the Cheat River there beside me. I'm guessing this is an old mine. Boy, you should feel, I wish you could feel the cold air coming out of here. It's incredible. I have no idea how far back in there that goes. I'll have to do a little research on that. I know what that is there. See those holes right there? That is pre-split. So I'm guessing this was like a mine face-up. They do that to give you a good solid wall of rock. It shears off when you blast it. I think that's what this is. It was like a mine face-up for a deep mine. Man, that is wild. I don't do well underground. At all. It's literally 20 degrees colder in here. This would be a great place for a bear. There's water coming down out of the ceiling. Yeah. I'm not too sure about this. I'm gonna head back to the truck now and on to Kingwood. You know, one of the many things I love about West Virginia, that old mine that I just looked at, if that was up home, there would be barricades. Actually, they would probably have it sealed off. No trespassing signs everywhere, do not enter, all kind of stuff like that. Where here in West Virginia, it's more of a natural selection state. You know what I mean? If you do dumb things, it may not end up well for you. If you don't, chances are you will survive and pass those genes to your offspring, and then they will survive. Natural selection. All right, we just came to Route 7. If I would go east, it would take me back to Terra Alta. We're gonna go west, hang a left here, and head up towards Kingwood. All right, so I got back from West Virginia last night. That was kind of a spontaneous video. I haven't had a chance to really start editing it yet. If it comes out all right, I'll publish it. If not, you'll never see this. But I like that kind of stuff. I do. I would have liked to have been a little bit better prepared, do a little bit more research on areas before I go. I will do that on the next one if you are interested in videos like that. But there's a lot of history. And those small towns in West Virginia, it's just it's a beautiful state. It is. And I like that kind of stuff. I do. When they opened that road up to Cannon Hill, we can ride the side-by-side the whole way from the cabin down to Rowlesburg. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll go down there and do that. Melissa and I will take a road trip there. And yeah, but if you're into that kind of video, let me know. We'll do more of that. I would like to explore more of West Virginia. But anyway, I think that's about it for today's video. Appreciate y'all being here, and I will catch you on the next one.